Hello, my friends. We're starting our first reading lesson today. You're going to have so much fun with this unit. It's a fiction unit, and I love reading fiction, and I know you guys also enjoy it based on some of your answers to the stuff we did at the beginning of the year. I am so excited for the ideas you're going to develop in fourth grade starting right now. I know you've had ideas about books before, but this year is not going to be like any other. This year, you are going to build substantial ideas that are grounded in evidence, not just little lightweight ideas that are barely connected to the book and blown away in the breeze. This year, you're going to build ideas that last, that are defensible, that are sturdy, and are grounded in the text. So here's our teaching point for today. Today, I want to teach you that to grow solid, grounded ideas, people read intensely, aware that everything counts. They often reread to see more, and notice more. Readers often use all of their brain power and strategies to pay attention to what they are reading. So we need to figure out how to read intensely. I mean, you can't just stare really hard at the text. There have to be strategies, right? And luckily for us, there are. We can find a book that we want to read. So that's the first step. It's hard to read intensely a book that you don't care about. Pick a book you like. Pick something you're interested in. We also put ourselves inside the book. So read as if you are in the book. I put myself in my main character's shoes to feel what they're feeling. We also work hard to figure out confusing parts where you're not just drifting along like a leaf on the wind. We want to make sure that we are really paying attention. And last, we make note of important things we want to talk about later. That is really, really important, okay? So readers who are reading intensely often stop and jot notes down while they're reading, okay? Good readers stop where they are reading and jot stuff down. You can do this on a sticky note and stick it right in your book. You could, if you're reading on Epic or something, you could also just do it in a reading notebook. So readers talk about what they wonder. Maybe some thought prompts for that would be I wonder, or I have a question about how or why. Readers also think about or talk about what they think. So maybe you have I think something because something else that happened in the story, or I predict that something happens because of something else. Readers also put their feelings into what they're reading. They write about what they feel. I like or don't like something because reading this part made me feel or made me remember. And so remember would actually probably be more what they're connecting to. This reminds me of something in my life or another book that I've read or a movie. And the last thing is, what is the character thinking? We have to put ourselves in our character's shoes. We kind of established that already. So we have to think about how our character might be thinking. Blank thinks this, thinks blank because blank. There's lots of different things. So I'm going to reread part of Tiger Rising to you, and we're going to do some stopping and jotting. I actually have some things kind of already written down. So in your notebook or on the slides that I'm going to give to you, you're going to write in detail more about what you stopped and jotted. Okay, so you're going to stick a Post-it, stop and jot some things down, and be ready to share your responses, or at least be ready to turn them in so I can see them. Okay, make sure you're writing complete sentences, try your best on spelling, and use details from the story. So I'm actually going to go back and look at this stop and jot while I'm reading so you guys can think about these things as I'm reading. Chapter 1. I'm not going to read the whole chapter, just part of it. That morning, after he discovered the tiger, Rob went and stood under the Kentucky Star Motel sign and waited for the school bus just like it was any other day. The Kentucky Star sign was composed of a neon yellow star that rose and fell over a piece of blue neon in the shape of the state of Kentucky. Rob liked the sign. He harbored a dim but abiding notion that it would bring him good luck. Finding the tiger had been luck, he knew that. He'd been out in the woods behind the Kentucky Star Motel, way out in the woods, not really looking for anything, just wandering. hoping that maybe he would get lost or get eaten by a bear, so he would not have to go to school ever again. That's when he saw the old Beauchamp gas station building, all boarded up and tumbling down. Next to it, there was a cage, and inside that cage, unbelievably, there was a tiger. A real-life tiger pacing back and forth. He was orange and gold and so bright it was like staring at the sun itself, angry and trapped in a cage. It was early morning, and it looked like it might rain. It had been raining every day for almost 2 weeks. The sky was gray, and the air was thick and still. Fog was hugging the ground. To Rob, it seemed as if the tiger was some magic trick rising out of the mist. He was so astounded at his discovery, so amazed, that he stood and stared, but only for a minute. He was afraid to look at the tiger for too long, afraid that the tiger would disappear. He stared, and then he turned and ran back into the woods toward the Kentucky Star. And the whole way home, while his brain doubted what he had seen, his heart beat out the truth to him. Tiger, tiger, tiger. And that's where we're going to stop for this reading out loud together. There's a lot of information in here. Let's think about, I might be wondering, hey, why is there a tiger in the middle of the woods? That would be a really good question to ask. Maybe I want to write that down on a sticky note and stick it in my book. Maybe I'm going to predict something. I predict that Rob is going to go back to the tiger. I predict that Rob is going to become more involved in the tiger, with the tiger. So now I'm going to move on to what I feel. I really like, there's one sentence in here that I love that I think is so great. And it made me feel really, like I could like really picture what Rob was seeing. He was orange and gold and so bright, it was like staring at the sun itself, angry and trapped in a cage. I love that. I really, really love it because it makes it easy for me to picture what Rob is seeing. So again, while I'm doing this, I'm also putting myself in Rob's shoes. So maybe I also will say, whoa, I don't know what I would do if I was in the woods and I came across a tiger in a cage. I mean, I don't know exactly where this story takes place. I do because I read the whole chapter. It takes place in Florida. Tigers don't belong in Florida, and especially not in a cage in the middle of the woods. So I'm thinking to myself, what is the tiger doing there? I'm going to also connect. I have a connection. There's a movie called Secondhand Lions, and I love that movie. And in the movie, they actually order a lion that used to be in a circus or a zoo or something, and it's a really old lion. And they keep it in a cage, and one of the boy in the movie has to go and feed the lion and everything. So I'm wondering if maybe Rob is going to have something like that happen to him where he gets put in charge of the tiger. But I connected immediately to that book. Rob, and I want to talk a little bit more about Rob too, because it's really important to think about our characters. This is what this whole like kind of first section of this reading is about, is thinking about our characters. Rob, his brain can't process the fact that he sees a lion there, but in his heart, he says it at the very end. And the whole way home, while his brain doubted what he had seen, his heart beat out the truth to him. Tiger, tiger, tiger. So Rob is having this conflict in his brain of like, there can't be a tiger there. But in his heart, he knows it's true. So I think we've learned a lot about Rob so far based on and that was only a page and a half. So let's look at my notes that I have. I'm gonna zoom out. I'm going to zoom out to 120. So here's some things that I wrote down. Important details. I noticed that doesn't believe that there's a tiger, but his heart does. I'm also going to put that he's shocked. I'm going to put why? I'm going to write down, why is there a tiger in a cage in the woods? Right now, I have like more questions than I have answers. And it makes me want to keep reading. And that's part of reading intensely, is continuing to read and find answers that you're looking for. And that, my friends, I'm going to make a copy of this document for you guys. I'm going to call it Reading Sticky Notes. And I'm going to have you work on it. And when I see you either on Monday or Wednesday, or when you come back in on, if you're somebody who's in today, which you wouldn't be listening to this. So I'll do is with them today in their thing. Sorry, my friends. Whew. We're going to move this into your reading notebook, your reading folder in your Google Drive. So it'll be there for you to access. And that's it, my friends. I hope you're having a good time. I hope this makes sense to you. If it doesn't make sense, please reach out to me. Your job today is going to be to fill in one sticky note. So this will be attached to the assignment. You're going to fill in a sticky note. Maybe you want to talk about the character, the setting, or the important details. I will also put this. I'm gonna put this in a sticky note so you can think about all of those questions and use them to create your own questions and sentences. Okay. All right. Goodbye, my friends. Enjoy. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.